One thing to keep in mind with your CoLibri machine is to always cut using CoLibri covers. If you use non-CoLibri covers, or you cut with nothing underneath the welding bar regularly, the machine will eventually stop working, even though you may not notice problems at first. Another thing to keep in mind is to always cut with some of the plastic underneath or in between these arrows. These arrows reflect where the sensors are located that detect CoLibri material in the machine. So, for example, if you have this book, which is on its second cut, and you, instead of cutting here, or maybe here, or maybe here, cut all the way over here on the left-hand side of the machine, you'll notice that the plastic is outside of the scope of these two arrows. And so, if I cut, the machine might have trouble. In this case, it doesn't cut. And in addition, the machine registers that cut as having no CoLibri material, even though there was CoLibri material. As you're covering your books, you want to keep in mind that you need to leave enough plastic off the edge that the machine and its rollers can actually seal and cut the plastic. This, for example, is almost certainly not enough. If I were to put it under the welding bar and try and cut it, you'll see that it is still attached to the book. It's been sealed by the welding bar, but it was too short to reach the rollers that are designed to pull it off. One thing to keep in mind with your CoLibri machine is that you always want to leave about 6 inches of space between the back of the machine and any obstructions like the nearest wall or things on your desk or even the cable of the machine folded up in the way. The reason for this is that it can block the excess plastic that's cut off from coming out properly, which can get it tangled up inside the machine. Additionally, you also want to regularly clear the excess plastic from the sides of the machine so that you don't get too much of a buildup and encounter the same problem. If you ever notice that your cuts are coming out incomplete, where, say, the plastic is sealed and almost separated, but there's still a little bit attached, we don't recommend that you cut a second time on the same seal to try and separate them completely. Instead, what we recommend you do is that you pick up a pair of scissors and separate them yourself neatly and quickly. If you notice that the edge is still a little bit ragged, you can gently take your pair of scissors and clean up the trouble spot, like so. When you work with the CoLibri machines, you should get a clean and consistent cut every time. If you're starting to notice a lot of frayed edges or incomplete cuts, or the machine is sometimes cutting and sometimes not cutting very regularly, that's not normal. Go check out some of our troubleshooting videos on our tutorial page, and if you're still having issues, reach out to customer service.